Hey everyone, so here's a back and biceps workout. Started it off a little bit differently. Started off with some assisted pull-ups. The first set was really easy just to get warmed up. And then I still kept quite a bit of assistance for the rest so that I could do some negatives and get in more reps than I would if I hadn't used as much assistance. Felt like that would be a little bit more beneficial for me, getting in more reps. And that's what I've noticed has actually given me better better gains on my back, which I've noticed lately, is taking down the weight a little bit, and especially with the cable machine, taking down the weight and just taking my time and really focusing on pulling with my back and holding that tension at the top of the movement. That has worked out well for me, and I think I've mentioned this, well, I know I've mentioned this in my past couple videos, so that's kind of a trend with me lately is focusing on the movement, holding it, and so focusing on time under tension. And so after finishing up with pull-ups, I moved over to cable rows, and same thing over here. I kept it fairly light, nothing too crazy on the weight, and focused on pulling in slowly and then holding it. guys, so on this row machine, what I was doing was actually switching from an underhand grip to an overhand grip, and with that switch, it was also bringing me from a narrow grip to a slightly wider grip, and so all that was doing was just working my back just a little bit differently, just to hit the muscles in a different way, and at the same time, I was also holding it for about a second or two at the top, as you can see right there. And yeah, I kept the weight not too heavy, not too light, just enough so that by the time I got to like those last few reps, that it was a little bit of a struggle for me. And so for these hyperextensions, I just want to say that I've definitely noticed a huge change. Well, one thing I want to say is that I'm definitely overextending a little bit, so that's something I need to keep my eye on. But one thing I have noticed is that I've noticed that my lower back and my core strength has improved a lot over the past, I guess, like 2 months maybe. Because when I was doing these before, I would start off with no weight, just to get warmed up and get in about 15 sets, which is no problem, and then grab like a 10-pound plate, and that was no problem, and then grab the 25-pound plate, and I noticed I could easily feel a lot of tension in my lower back. It was a struggle for me just to try to get in like 8 reps with just holding a 25-pound plate. But when I was doing them in this workout, I noticed it definitely wasn't as much of a struggle. I was able to get in some more reps, and it didn't feel as crazy on my lower back. So yeah, definitely something that I've seen some improvement on. And it's not something that I was necessarily focusing on. I think it's just because I've been switching up some exercises, and without really thinking about it, I guess I've done more core work. so just a little bit of a change up as far as doing some different types of curls. Nothing too crazy. Like with the kettlebells, not something I normally do. Just decided to do something a little bit different. And just switching things up as small as just doing a curl with a kettlebell as opposed to a dumbbell is good to do every once in a while. Same weight that I normally would have curled with a dumbbell. But it's just, as far as like the grip and everything is concerned, and the way that the weight is distributed in the kettlebell, it's going to work your arms just a little bit differently than you would if you had a dumbbell. Just like when I was doing with the curls with the Olympic bar, that's a little bit different than holding onto a shorter barbell or even a shorter easy bar curl. Just the way my hands are going to be placed, the way that the weight is distributed on the bar. All those little things make differences when it comes to working out your muscles and incorporating different like stabilizers and stuff in your muscles. So just think about that when you're trying to switch up your workout. It doesn't have to be anything too crazy. Like for me, just instead of grabbing a normal dumbbell and doing normal curls, I grabbed the kettlebells. Instead of grabbing a regular short barbell, I grabbed the Olympic barbell and did curls there. Not to say that you should normally, go up and grab one of the Olympic barbells and keep somebody from doing their squats, because that's probably going to piss some people off. But it was an empty gym, and so I had the luxury of doing that. I never would do that if it was a busy gym and somebody, wanted to get in there for their squats. And then I finished off with some rope pulls. Those were definitely a struggle, but they're fun. So yeah, I got those in and got in 4 sets of those, and it was about 20 to 30 seconds of work. But thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment. Check me out on Instagram at LiftHeavyKickass. Check out my blog on strongwithdenise.com. And until next time, guys, see ya.